Welcome to the Pod. I'm here with Destinee Commander. Hi, Destinee.
Hello, Bree. How are you?
Good. I'm super excited to have you on here. You and I have known each other for a couple of years now. Actually, more than a couple,
It's
right?
like 5 years.
Yeah,
It's
like
been
it's
five.
too. Wow. Wow, the time has gone by.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
So we met at work together.
Yep.
And then we actually, at first, when we were first getting to know each other, I remember being like, girl, I don't want to be your friend.
I remember the first time I saw you. It was when it was the lip sync battle. It was the first lip sync battle I think we both were in, and you were Freddie Mercury, and I was like, that girl, yeah. We've got the same vibes, and I think after I saw you there, and then so I didn't know who you were then, but I knew like from that your performance, I was like, yep, I could get along with her. And then when I actually found out who you were, it was when you were getting the peeps together for the Harry Potter, and you were trying to gather people, and then that's when I officially met you, and like all the like spreadsheets went out, and like I made an effort to go to your desk, be like, hey, we're gonna be friends. And you were like so shy. I was like, I don't care. But yeah, I was like, I'm like, she loves Harry Potter. She's friggin' jamming out on a broom in a friggin' like Christmas party. Like, it's great.
Well, I'm glad that you did that because I think that it was the best thing that could ever happen to me because at that point in time, prior to Freddie Mercury and prior to Harry Potter, I really was not getting involved in a lot of work stuff because I convinced myself that I didn't want any friends. So I was like, I don't want any friends. I'm not getting to know anybody. And then you came out of like the woodworks for me, and then it went from history from there. From there.
And it's so hard to believe that you say that because, like, now, like, all the stuff that you had done after, like, with the Grace Fit and just everything, just getting so many people together, creating lunch groups for people, like, bringing people in from different departments, like, hey, there's this person and this person. You guys would get along. Let's have lunch together. I'm like, okay. So it's so weird to like hear you say that part and then knowing you after like all the things you did to bring people together and all your justice too with all the stuff like all the injustice and work like you made sure people were taken care of, and it's so crazy to hear you were like, no, I'm not gonna know anybody here. And then now look at you.
I know
Oh
it's the
man.
introvert in me, but um, yeah, it's weird. I'm like an introvert and an extrovert. My mom has a term for it, but I cannot remember it right now for the life of me. But yeah, thank you for saying that. That's too funny.
You're welcome.
So tell our audience a little bit about you.
All right. So Destinee Commander. I'm originally not. I'm from Maine, but I moved around a lot. I'm a very, very, very adamant animal lover. I have a beautiful daughter, and she gets me through a lot of the stuff. I stay strong for her. My mom wasn't around, so I want to make sure that she doesn't have that same experience. I love music. I love dancing, Zumba, Just Dance, anything. Like and she does. She loves dance too. So it's really amazing that we can share that together. And she also loves the kittens. She like loves them so much she squeals and they run away. But it's awesome. So and I'm also getting into tarot and doing all that spiritual work. Actually, Bree, you brought me into that as well. I had a little touch with my sister back growing up, but you kind of brought that back into my life, and it's been helping get through a lot of situations. So.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and I'm glad that I think that you're doing an amazing job as a mama to little
Thank
pumpkin.
you.
And
She is adorable.
I love that she loves to dance like you. Like that's so
It's
adorable.
so crazy. And like, and now I got to make sure. Well, she actually broke our TV, so she doesn't see the bad dancers anymore. Cause like I was starting to get worried that she was gonna start doing the bad dances. Like, no, don't do that. But she does like the little hip wiggles and she spins and she has like certain songs that she loves. Like as soon as it comes on, she's like right at the TV, like, I'm dancing. Oh, this is great. And I'm really hoping she's gonna be my best friend and we're gonna play board games and we're gonna do all the geocaching and hiking and all the crazy things that I love doing that I can't find anybody to do that with.
I'm sure she'll love to do some of that stuff for sure. Um, so to bring this in a little bit, you have been through a lot, as I personally know, because we're really close friends.
Mhm.
Um, but I wanted you to share a bit about that. Like we call this reborn from the shadows. What does that mean to you?
So rebirth it's always kind of been like a part of my life. Like I really was introduced to it through Harry Potter and the Phoenix. Like when I saw the Phoenix in the Harry Potter, I didn't know about the Phoenix before that. And here's this beautiful bird and it grows and then it just dies away, but like it dies into it's like it's reborn from its ashes. And I'm like, that's an amazing trait. Like how awesome would it be like you go through something so tough and challenging and then how do you get through it, you know, like how do you move, like what do you do? And just being, I think like I try to embody that essence of the phoenix when I try to go through tough times. Like I got to remember, so like when it gets old, like that's its time. Like when you have a horrible incident, like a horrible tragedy, that's like it's done, like that's dead now, so let's move on from it, so let's rebirth ourselves into a new like life. Like we may have one life, but you can have so many new life experiences within your one life. Like you're not just here, like you may have a tragedy, but you got to know that you can grow and re I guess rebirth from it. Like it's always you're always growing, and I really love that being reborn from your shadow, your ashes. I say shadow because we have a lot of shadow work. I know we've been going through it, like you got to work on some inner child and all your shadow work, and just if you're able to be reborn from it, that's a beautiful thing. And that's what I like about the phoenix and that concept of being reborn from your shadows.
I love how you shared that because it just sounds like beautiful, like it's like a mixture of emotions of beautiful, and then at the same time, of course,
It's
there's
ugly.
ugly. But it's like a beautiful, ugly, beautiful thing. I don't know.
It is.
I don't
It's
know. If
hard to
it's
explain. That's why it's mythical. It's like, but yeah, you can practice that. You don't have to be a phoenix to be reborn from a tragedy. Like we all go through things, everything's tough, everybody's going through something, and just getting through that, you're reborn. The moment you are able to heal and move forward with your life, that's your rebirth. And you're going to become old and ugly and go through another tragedy, but then you're going to bounce back, heal, and be reborn. So you're always being reborn through all your tragedies that you go through, anything traumatic, just anything ugly, just you can move on from it. You got to just know that it's not going to be always that. There's always room for growth and rebirth.
absolutely. And the phoenix is such a powerful being in itself. Just to be from ashes to this
Hmm.
powerful being.
Yes, definitely.
Um, so I wanted you to share a little bit on, because you actually relate to the Phoenix. You've been through a lot of Phoenix moments, and some, I'm sure some of the listeners or have as well. So, um, what has been some moments where you have been the Phoenix
And okay.
born?
So, I've definitely, it must be the care, like, just, I don't know, I'm just always a nurturing, I'm always thinking of others before myself, and I'm wondering if that what draws me. Like, I've been in not so great relationships. And it's hard to see when they're not great when you're in them, because you want them to be great. You try to make it something that it's not. And then when it becomes something it's not, it can get scary. Um, so I actually don't think I've had a real healthy relationship. But I just to go through some instances that I've gone through. I've had exes. I think what they like to do, so the common theme I see is um, they like to have power. And the two that I'm really thinking of, it was like I was living with both of them, and it's the moment when they say like you have nowhere else to go, like it's either here or your family, and that like puts you that's like as soon as it gets like that, I got panicky. I'm like, oh my god, like I don't like this. Like I can't just rely on that. Like what? And then it's that control. They have that control over you, and that's not healthy and it's not good. And the moment you take back control, they hate it. They absolutely hate it. So the first instance, I was told, you're stuck here. You're gonna have to go back to your family or you're gonna have to live with me. And I was like, well, I don't like that. Like I don't that's just you can't have that power over me. And so as soon as I found a new place, um, this ex decided to take a baseball bat to my car and smashed out 3 of my windows, all because I took back control. I didn't leave. Like I had an apartment just as a backup, but I didn't move out. I didn't move out until he smashed the windows, and that's when, oh, well, okay. Well, I'm glad I have this place and I can move on now. So there was that. And then second instance, we had it was actually Sky's dad, uh, and he was going through some addiction, some alcoholism, just a lot of stuff was going on. And then it kind of coincided with COVID a little bit, and we had this newborn, and we were in a new place. We didn't have anybody to help us with her. And then COVID hit and we were quarantined together. He got laid off and we were just both there all the time and just going through with like the world, what COVID was doing for everybody. Everybody was going through something, and here we were going through this. And it just got to a point where uh he snapped. And it just I was trying, like, I will say this, I know people will always you I know you always want to try to help people, but sometimes you can't help those that don't want help. And it's hard because you love this person and you want to help them, but if they're really like strong set on you, not like they're set in their ways, you gotta back off and you gotta let them see it for themselves. And I couldn't do that. It was just he was the father of like my child. Like I was trying so hard to get him off just the addiction, just trying to distraction, anything. And it was just one night he snapped. Um, a gun got involved. He cocked it a couple times, and in the event of the second time, I was trying to disarm him. I was trying to find like, what do I do? How do I get out of this like situation? And in that moment, I got him in a headlock and the gun discharged. And that was like my oh my God, we gotta go, we gotta go. And even when I was trying to call 911, he was still trying to stop me. Like he was ripping the phone out of my hand. I was like, no, you can't call 911. Like, yeah, because you know you did something wrong. That's why. And I eventually was able to call 911 from another phone and got our daughter to safety. Um, and that was the last of that. But and I just want to share, like, when you're in it, it's hard to see. Like, you want to believe the best in people, you want to help people. And when you start to feel like you're walking on eggshells, or if I say this, is he going to get mad? Are they going to get mad? Like, if I do this, like, if you start to feel like you're not comfortable where you are, you might want to start to look to see if, like, this is right for you. Is this a healthy relationship? And I know it's scary, because then what do you do after? Like, okay, now you're in this crazy situation. So I had her, and it's a lot of work, and it was during COVID too. So it was just really messy. And you go to court. I went to court and filled out the papers to get a protection order. I had to meet with different child protective services to get involved, because there was a gun, there's a child, like, people are going to get involved. Law enforcement is there to help you. I've had some instances, I will warn you. There have been some biased cops. I've heard that some of them told the man that I was asking for it. And that's just not right. And I know we're supposed to have trust in them, but you got to have them for the law. But what you really need is your family and friends. And Bree knows I hate asking for help. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough, like I'm defeated, like I shouldn't have to ask for help. But guess what? It's okay. If I didn't have the help, it would have taken a lot longer to get out of what I was in, but I would have done it. But without my family and friends, I wouldn't have got there as fast as I did. And I just want you guys to know, you can ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. You can't do everything on your own. It's not you against the world. It takes a family to raise a family. It takes a tribe. And you don't have to be blood related. You can have friends, you can have coworkers, whoever you trust, reach out to them. They are the people that are going to get you the help. They're going to help you. They're going to show you where you need to go. They're going to be there. And if they're not there, then maybe they weren't as true as you thought, but you're going to have somebody, and you need to reach out to them. So you're going to need the help from law enforcement for whatever situation, how, if it's crazy, like really crazy. But also don't forget about your family and friends, because they're always there.
Thank you for sharing your vulnerability. And I know that that is tough, because that's a really huge piece of you. And she's right; she does not like to ask for help.
No, it feels
That's
just so defeating. It's getting better. It's getting better, but it just feels defeating.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know that I am very, very proud of you. I'm thankful that you did allow us to help you and your family and friends. I'm thankful that you're still here today. We have Sky, and I'm just thankful, like, I'm just very proud of you. I think you have come a long way. You've always, every time I feel like you've ever been in a situation where you're like, oh gosh, it's going down, and you pull yourself out of it. And I'm like, girl, do you know who you are?
And
You're
it's
going to get
funny,
out of it.
my high school friend too, she says the same thing about me. She's like, "You're the strongest person I know." And I'm like, "I'm just surviving." I'm just trying to survive. But that's all we're doing. And I do have a friend. It was funny. She's like, she's a mom. She's an amazing mom of 5. Heather, if you're listening, we love you. But she told me once, she was, no matter whatever situation you're in, she was in a small apartment with 2 kids, like she was going through a lot. But she said, you're always gonna find a way to survive, no matter what. Something's going to present itself. Something's always going to be there. And I know it's scary, like if you have like financial troubles or just anything, if you reflect back on some tough situations that you've been in and you thought in that moment like how am I ever going to get past this? Now look at yourself now and reflect on that moment, cuz you're here, you're past it. I'm here. We're past that situation. Like in that moment, like, a gun? Oh my god. Like, it's crazy, but here we are. We're past it. We survive, and you're always gonna survive. Your survival instincts are always gonna kick in.
Yeah, I mean, you friggin' you wrestled a man with a gun and put him in a headlock.
Yeah, it
I
was, oh
remember
my gosh.
you telling me that, and I'm like, I don't know if I would be able to do that. I'd be like, oh shit.
And it was funny because, well, not funny, but like the first, like when you're in that moment, so I guess I'll kind of go through the thought process. Like, I guess the mama bear and the survivalist in me. So the first time the gun was loaded, he was trying to threaten to kill me and going through all that. He didn't have it aimed at me. It was at the floor, but our daughter was in the room. There's no need for it. And I was thinking, like, how do I disengage? Like, you're gonna like, I know it sounds crazy, like how you said, like, you wouldn't know if you knew, like, but when you're in that moment, your mind will go. Like, I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Okay. So I knew how his ego worked. Like, what can I say to get him to stop? And I was like, I know. And I said, okay, do it. Instant disengage. It was the fact that I was okay with what he was doing that snapped it out of it. And then the second time, it was he wanted me to shoot him. And I'm like, oh my God, here we are again. So I'm like, how do I get this? And this one was more physical. He was trying to give me the gun, and I was just like, no, my hands were flying. I'm like, no, I don't want it. I stop. And he's pushing it into me, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? And then like as soon as he kind of fell on me, like I had pushed him and he fell, and I was like, headlock. And I was just like, it just instinct will kick in. I know it sounds crazy, but I think you'll assess the situation you're in. You'll know the people that you're dealing with, you'll know your environment, and it's gonna kick in. I know it's crazy, like, it's hard to think of it, like, when you haven't been in it or whatever, but it will kick in. And I just want people to know that. Like, I know it's like, "Oh my god, but how are you sure? How do you know?" You'll know. You will know. It's like an intuition, like, it's like, it goes in.
Yeah, it sounds like when they call it like an adrenaline rush for certain
Yes.
things.
Yeah, like when they say like when your child's like under a car and you get like She-Hulk, you're like, "Argh," and you like lift that car and you get the kid out. Like that, adrenaline, all of that, it all will kick in. Definitely.
So, yeah, I really appreciate you sharing all of these things, especially of how you got help. Is there anything that like advice or anything else you'd like to share for our listeners that may be in the position right now that you were in?
Okay. Um, like I said, like if you feel like you're walking on eggshells or you're worried about what they're thinking or they're isolating you or you feel like you're crazy, like I know like there was points where like I thought him drinking, like he got me to the point where he said that drinking, like there was like moments he'd say it's okay to drink or it's not day drinking, but like if I have it's day drinking's drinking all day, but yet he woke up at 4 a.m. and had a beer. I don't know. When you start to feel like what they're saying is okay, even though in your heart you know it's not, then that's a trigger. Like you gotta watch or sign. You gotta watch for the signs, like the eggshells, being isolated. Is he keep or not he? She like are they keeping you away from friends and family? Because they know your friends or family are they're gonna see it. They're gonna see it even if you don't, and they know that because they know they'll try to help you, but they want that power over you. So if you ever feel like that's going on, that could be a sign that you're not in a good relationship. And if you're scared, that's okay. Fear is okay. Makes you feel that's fear makes you human. Fear makes you kind of check yourself. Fear makes you kind of look around you like, why are you scared? You shouldn't be scared in your home environment. Your home is your home. If you're scared, you need to go. You need to reach out to your friends and family. And I've told Bree this before, like, these incidences that I went through, they were crazy, but it was weird because I kind of needed it too. Because like the first one with the windows and the smashing, like I said, like when you're in it, you don't know. And then when something crazy happens and the whole world can see it, then you're like, oh. And then people will come to you and be like, what is going on? Like what's going on? Like it's it's kind of a relief when the world can see it. Because in the beginning, it's just you. Like you see it or you don't see it, but you're not sure. But when the world sees it, when like someone else can see it, then it's like it kind of snaps you. And that's when like you get that aha moment. All right, this is bad. I got to get out. And that's when you reach out to the people you trust. If you need to get law enforcement, hopefully you don't have to get them involved, but if you do, make sure you go and you trust and you do the right steps. If you feel like you're unsafe, get those protection orders. I know they I know like they'll try to tell you things you'll want to do. They'll try to guide you in the direction you should go, but listen to your gut. Like if you feel unsafe and you want a protection order, get it. If and just try to get out safely if you can and hopefully avoid like a big catastrophic event. But also those catastrophic events are okay too because it's like a snap. It's like, it's like, oof. It kind of wakes you up. It's like, wow, he just smashed out my windows. I'm with a psychopath. Oh, he's loading again. I'm with a psychopath. It's like, holy crap, like I've been trying to make this work. Oh, nope, this is not working. Stop making it work. And yeah, so just, I guess, watch for signs. Just watch the signs. Just trust your gut, watch your signs, and lean on people you trust.
Yeah, absolutely. And something I wanted to add to that is if you're going through that, it is very normal for the abuser to make you question your reality. That is a typical move of an abuser. So when she was talking about how you'll feel crazy, it is because they are like a mind F word, basically. I mean, in truth, that's what it's like because they need you to feel that way because that's that control and that power that she was talking about. So if you're hearing this and you're resonating with what she's saying, know that you are not crazy.
And you're not
You,
alone.
yeah, you're not alone.
Mm-mm.
Um, and what you are feeling, that gut feeling that something is off.
Yep, definitely. And then I also want to touch on too, like once there may be people that have already gone through this and are wondering, how do you heal? And myself, I'm still working on it. I'm still a hot mess. I cry. I cry a lot. And I try to also not let it affect me being a mother because I don't want me to be unable to take care of her when I don't I'm going to say this and I'll explain it. But sometimes I have like, what's the word? Um, regret. I don't regret her. I regret the situation. And you'll also feel like shame. Like there was one moment I'm like, did I? And then you're going to go through so many emotions. You're going to go, did I make them crazy? No, no, no. Everybody's their own person. Like he had his own actions. Everybody has their own actions. Everybody's responsible for themselves. So try not to feel that. I'm still working on that. I still think I make all my exes crazy. um,
No.
so don't think that, and it's gonna be hard. And I do recommend therapy. I'm on a wait list for a really special therapy that involves horses that a friend recommended to me. So seek out what you can. And when you are looking for therapy, make sure you connect with them. I've had a lot of bad experiences with past therapists, and that's why I've kind of avoided it. But the animal lover in me was like, hey, horse therapy? Let's do it. That's me. So find the right fit, find the right person to talk to. And it's that same way. If you don't feel comfortable talking to a therapist about the situation, go find another one. Reach out to friends, see what they do. Hobbies are also really good. Getting back into dancing with my daughter, walking my cats at night. If you're ever feeling like you're just really down, try to find that one hobby that gets you out of it. Just find that one thing that gives you joy. And don't hate yourself. Try very hard, don't hate yourself. And don't play the blame game. Don't try to make sense of what happened. It's a moving on. You need to move forward. The rebirth. This is the rebirth part. This is the healing, the moving on, and finding yourself again. Because you lose yourself. And every time you're in these situations, you lose yourself. And now it's time to find yourself again. So make sure you recognize the signs, you get the right help, trust people, and then heal from it and move forward.
I appreciate you sharing that. And I also appreciate that you are also letting them know that healing isn't linear. So you're going to have your triggers, you're going to have your moments that you're bawling on the floor. But remember, you can get that support group, which there are a lot of support groups out there. And like she said, like maybe if you're not into like a person-to-person kind of therapy,
There's other options.
yeah, animals are so like they are incredible what they can do. It's incredible.
That's why there's support dogs. They're there. There's goats. You can do goat yoga. That's a thing. It doesn't even have to be therapy. Like in the initial, like just kind of get what works for you.
Yeah.
Everybody's not the same.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and
Thank you for having me.
you'll be back.
Hopefully not with another incident.
No,
You'll be back. Oh
no,
gosh. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
no, no. I meant like you could share
We'll
like
be back for my dancing. I'll give you guys dancing voice tutorials.
yeah. Hey, we can do video next time. No worries. So I wanted to make sure that anybody that wants to follow you, what is your Facebook group called that you have?
So I really resonated with the eclipse, and I kind of put the eclipse and the phoenix together, because if you think of the eclipse, it's also got the same concept of where it goes into darkness, but then you get the light again. So on my Facebook, I'm Eclipsed Phoenix, and that's kind of a page I'm still working on. I want to do some tarot readings, just a lot of positive things in there. And if you come in there, I definitely would like to get to know you. If you ever want to have questions or anything, I will be available through there.
Thank you for sharing that. So before we go, I always do the affirmations, but today I think I'm going to do. I'm gonna share only 2 of them that are going to be around the Phoenix, because why not? This
Okay.
is so if you resonate with number 1, your affirmation is, sometimes you just have to die a little inside in order to be reborn and rise again as a stronger and wiser version of you. Actually, maybe I'll do 3. Number 2, if you resonate with 2, yours is, often it's the deepest pain which empowers you to grow into your highest self. And then number 3, hope rises like a phoenix from the ashes of shattered dreams.
Yeah,
So with that, you are loved, you are worthy, you are cherished, and I am proud of you. Until next time on the Bree Pod. Bye.